Yes, hello and welcome to our webinar regarding the major release of macmon NAC version 6. My name is Martin Schönau. I'm Channel Marketing Manager of macmon Secure. In the next 45 minutes, we will get to know the highlights of the new version. For example, we're going to show you the new graphical user interface of macmon NAC as well as the operating system. Also, we're going to show you and present you features like the extended success and error messages as NAC and notification trace. At the end of the webinar, we're going to have some time for your questions. And if you have any questions, please use the chat or question tool within the webinar tool. Please keep in mind that this webinar is being recorded, so that we can send you an email with the video of today's webinar. For the highlights and to show you some more details of our new version, I'm happy to have Jochen with me. Jochen is Product Manager of macmon NAC. Hello, Jochen, and please take over.
Hello, yeah, thank you for having me. So I was just figuring out a little bit already to show you stuff later. So we started with macmon 6 with major release now, and macmon 5 has been with us for some time now, like I think 3 or 4 years. And so it made sense to move forward with a new macmon major release. And this time, maybe this is in some way interesting. The running title was Iris, so we have a little eye ball in the background here, and the old one was Horizon. I'm not sure if you know that, but so this is the running title, and it fits very nicely into what we provide with macmon 6 now. And yeah, let's move over just quickly into the topology and so on, in terms of what exactly is what delivering again. Just a quick view so that you know everything stays the same with bundles and so on as you know that. So for example, there is the topology, advanced security, millimeter dynamics and guest service in the network bundle still. And for some of you, there is a premium bundle in a specific region here, but it really is the same as if you would have the bundle plus the compliance as an add-on, and as it is around the world. And yeah, this enhances, of course, the enforcement for other tools that detect status or have status about endpoints, but can't enforce it. So this would macmon do then. And we have the password for forensic analysis, like banks and so on. They need that for years sometimes to see what has been in the network and where and for long and so on. And we have the switch viewer, which shows you more information like admin speeds, VLAN tag nodes, stuff like that. The GUI or graphical display of ports, and of course as well the authentication for non-NAC relevant stuff like logins to GUIs, to the SSH shell of a switch, for example, VPNs, stuff like that can be authenticated with that. And we have the scalability, of course, still there, that is for redundant and scalable solutions. So for different sites, for having covered outage of specific servers, or even WAN connections and stuff like that. So this is still staying the same. And within that, we bring in the macmon version 6, which is providing once a new GUI. So we go over and use React as a new technology for everything that we display. Even I have to say, first, what we do is we will provide a new main menu, a new header of the pages, and the new login screen that you see already here on the site. And And these are the first elements, and it will go on because we put a lot of efforts into the basis, and then we can provide more and more web pages changing in the next few weeks, months to even more and more benefits of that React transition. And one thing that comes into it, which haven't been there before, is a notification tray, and we will take a look at this in a few seconds. We move over then to the GUI in general, try to showcase you how you can use it, and maybe if you have any thoughts about in terms of how you could use it in the future as well, you can just give us a mail, send it to support@macmon.eu, and the colleagues from support will then create these requests, the tickets for the development, or if they exist, they will, of course, remind it, and they will show us in this case then what is needed most. And as a second part of the major release, there is the Debian 11 as a new operating system. The old Debian will run out of support this year, so that's why we moved over, and we will try to keep the pace or make it even faster for the future when we provide new operating system a little earlier. It took some time this time, as there were a lot of changes that needed to be made to a custom. What it brings, not only security and performance in terms of new packages, secure packages, and the possibility to deliver patches for specific packages that we use. It delivers TLS 1.3 as well for 802.1x authentications. Before it was more like in a beta status, so now it's really stable and can be used with, for example, Windows 11 and stuff like that. So then let's talk about migration. There will be a migration manual, of course, in English and in German. Sure, we're a German company, so it's still German, of course. And we will provide the soft migration for the versions 5.37.2.x and 6.0.x, which means that if customers are using the scalability, and we know we have a lot of them that are using like 16 and upwards satellites, they don't need to do that all on one day. They can do a few things on one day, then the other satellites the next day, and so on. And it is always able to synchronize between all of those, so you don't have time pressure to do that. In general, it's not very complicated. For those that have been with us for some time, they know when we do a migration, systems or operating systems, it's normally just a backup and a restore. So it's not very, you don't need to be afraid to do that. In general, we still would say, plan a downtime. That makes sense. It always makes sense. And read the migration manual. So even though I say backup restore, that's normally what you need to do. Of course, there are some specifics. For example, with scalability, we describe how to move the satellite out of the scalability ones and then join the new satellite in the new version, stuff like that. So there are some little things that you might want to take a look at, but it doesn't fit for everybody in terms of if you really don't use the guest portal or scalability and so on. Of course, the easier it gets as you don't need to think about anything more for those specific functions. And additionally, 2 hints. One hint is if you are using macmon as VMs, which is the standard use case, then you can take a look at the knowledge base. There is an article for short downtime, which is used, for example, by different hospitals and a high demand on availability and even updates. They normally shouldn't be a service that is not accessible for a long time. So with this short downtime knowledge base article, normally you will have downtime, for example, like 4 to 10 seconds. Depends a little bit on you. But in general, it is a more like a logical approach, not a function. And this could help you with that, even between different operating systems. So take a look. Just a hint, you don't need to do that, but it could help you. And then for these customers in a specific area where we provide hardware, which is more like here in the DACH region, of course, what you could do always is to restore prior to the normal installation process of the hardware. You could do the backup restore, of course, first in a local VM to test out, does everything look like what you expect it to be? And the benefit as well to it is you even have a new backup at hand in already the new version. So just a good thing to take a look at it beforehand, if you want. So then we have the SDK, the software development kit, which normally should have been in 6.0 already, but didn't make it in the end. And it will come very shortly after, probably in version 6.1. And this could come not every minute, but maybe in a few weeks. And what it will provide is the possibility that you, your partners, or your other solutions that you are using, they can create integrations like this that you can just easy upload into your macmon, and then you have a new combination, synchronization for compliance status, to deliver data, for example, we have that for Splunk, to deliver data to CM solution. And everything could be very easy, as you don't need to do it, your partners and so on could do it. Which doesn't mean that we don't provide further integrations in the future. We will do that as well. It's just another step to allow more integrations in a different way. So this will come shortly. And additionally, as I said, the GUI that we provide and that we show today is just the beginning. We will have more and more pages over time, moving over to React technology as well. And the next few things that might come very shortly are the path viewer page as well and the task scheduler. We have others as well already as mockups and so on. So it will get more and more and fast. These two will be the first ones that build up onto that new technology. And what we did as well in the last few months is we started to integrate other protocols. So, for example, OCSP as an online certificate status protocol is an alternative for certificate revocation lists and can check when you, for example, do an 802.1x authentication, it can check instantly and for right now, if the certificate is still valid or if it was revoked or something like that. So it is a lot more accurate than the CRLs. And of course, it is maybe an even easier way to check those certificates. This will come very shortly, as we are already very, very far with that. And additionally, we talked about, we did a lot of stuff with TechX Plus or research and so on. Everything is already done. So we expect that to be at hand, not too far in the future as well. So just so you know, we did a lot of stuff, but they're all building up onto the macmon version 6, so we couldn't provide specific things of those earlier. Now we have a Revo integration, which is a visibility tool. So it's checking the data flows of your network, and it can deliver us specific data about that. And then we can react with our NAC to that. We can identify better your endpoints and use them in our endpoint groups and so on. And in general, we could use them in all of our event policies, of course, as well, in terms of delivering data like by email, by syslog, and so on, even better and more specific if you have that integration. If you're using macmon NAC and Revo, please contact us because we would like to test out with more and more customers and buying it for test first. And if you have other visibility tools like Nozomi, Armis, Dragos, or something like that, you can send us a message to the support as well in terms of your interest in that, because the Mimo integration was a big approach in the first place in terms of building a basis as well, and then other technologies that are similar can be integrated even faster as a similar way. But the basis needs to be there to work with that data. So please collaborate even then. If you don't use Remote or something else, that would be interesting for us as well. Okay. First,
yeah, and our question is how do you update a schedule? And I would like to ask you to tick off the boxes. The possible answers are immediately after release, quarterly, annually. I've never done this. And I will give you a couple of seconds time, and afterwards we will evaluate the answer together with Jochen. So again, how is your update schedule?
And maybe we do that webinar today already with a few hundreds customers, and maybe if I remember right, I can say something about their results as well.
Yeah, I'll give you another 5 seconds, and then let's have a look at the results. And there we go. And these are the results, Jochen. So the majority is doing it quarterly, and 35%, so 1/3 is doing it immediately, 18% annually, and it is also similar. You can mention what we've had in the morning, that we have kind of 1 out of 10 was a bit less that they've never doing it.
Yeah, so I think the annual part moved over this morning in the direction of immediately after the release. But for quarterly, I think it is almost the same. Yeah, for I've never done this. It is similar, and I'm not sure how this is. So it could be that you're very, very new with macmon, and that's why you never did an update. That is possible. But in general, we have I don't know, in 10 years, we still have very, very rarely somebody with macmon version 4, which is at least 5 years older. So it happens really very, very, very rarely, and I don't understand really. but yeah, even the older versions were good, but of course they lack specific security patches. So, in my opinion, at least annually should be an update be performed. Quarterly is good, immediately and very good as well.
All right. Thanks, Jochen, and thanks the audience for taking part in the poll. Now I switch over to your presentation, and let's have a look in the GUI.
Exactly. So now we take a look at the new macmon. You saw it before in a little bit. So what it really does is it shows you the new design. Of course, it has of course some new features, which is, for example, that there is a label setting in the GUI settings in macmon, where you can provide information for what is the service. And of course, it is even more interesting for partners when they help out at your site. And then maybe they have different browsers open with different tabs and maybe different macmons. And of course, it is maybe interesting to know beforehand, okay, this is not the macmon I want to log into. Maybe it is something else. But it is also you can do whatever you like.
Excuse me, I think you are not sharing the screen. Could you double check, please?
Oh, okay.
You're not seeing your screen.
Okay, yeah, it was stopped twice. This morning it was not triggered. Okay, so again, I was talking about this year. So there's a label for that. In the settings, you can provide more information. I just called it what it is. It's a macmon sales demo. So yeah, you can optionally put in whatever you like. You have, of course, normal login fields here. And if you're using SAML, for example, for authentication, for example, against macmon SDP, there's a central identity access manager or anything else, then of course you can perform the single sign-on against this SAML service directly. And it is now displayed like this because when you have, for example, issues reaching the SAML service, it could be anything, it could be firewalls, routing, distance is down, whatever. So if you can't use single sign-on server, you instantly have the easy way to log in the normal way. And beforehand, it was like a little harder because you needed a specific URL and this is a lot easier if you're having problems with your services. And additionally, the whole UI is displaying already, even in startup, or if you reboot your macmon throughout a update, the browser will show you in a good way, like with that picture and some information there. The service is right now not reachable, but will come up again. So it's not just the standard browser feedback that you get, but real designed information for those occasions. And else, what you could do is, I'm not sure if you know that, but you can provide additionally information down here, even with a link if you want to other information if you want to share even before login. For example, we have different companies that want to put in the DSGVO, or I'm not sure what the name was internationally. But it's about privacy of data, and different companies, they said they want to share beforehand. If I try to log in here with my user credentials, what happens with these user credentials? So that's one way to use it, but you can really put in whatever you like that you think your admins need as beforehand information. Okay, then let's log in to the macmon version 6, and it will show you the new header and the new menu. And what we did is, one thing is we adjusted the colors, of course, to the Belgian standards, and we put in like 3 sections. Let's say sections. We have once the global information, like which version you are using and which what is the time of the system. You need that, of course, for example, for support cases. It's always good to take a whole screenshot to show, okay, what is the time this screenshot was taken, which data is that. For support is always good. And so we have the global information section. Then we have the site section. So the name of the site, of the page, I have to say maybe. And the context help is now next to the page title, just so you have it more combined and showing, hey, this is the help for that type of page. And then we have the global functions, which is a global search, the notification tray, and the help and the user information. And I just see that whysoever it changed to German, so I changed that back now. So of course we are doing an English webinar here, so we changed it over to English. And so then it show help and so on. Exactly. Okay, and so global functions. And you see, for example, under the user icon, you have the session information. So where are you from accessing macmon from? And in the future, that will be shown at which switch port you're hanging and which switch and so on with your endpoint. The profile, I just jumped to it to change my language right now. And of course, I can log out here, which is, in my opinion, a very good step forward because it's very intuitive, and it is mostly like this in different other solutions, so it makes it more intuitive. The show help is really showing all the menu points that have been in older macmons on the left part down here under the menu, but it made sense to us to deliver this on every page to have an easy access to that. And the notification, we will just take a look in a second. Okay, I saved something, and I will show you error messages as well in a second. But before we go there, we talk about the left menu bar. The menu bar is now having icons here. So you can use it as usual, but with icons. And if you minimize the menu, the icons stay there. We didn't have that in the past, but it is a good solution in terms of navigation is still easy possible, especially after you accustomed to the different icons. And it still delivers around 1 to 2 more columns of data in the table views of macmon that you can see directly on one screen. So this is a good thing, I think, and it's my favorite already. Let's go, for example, I did it this time with the master. So one thing is I save again something, whatever it is, get all those snacks in here, and those snacks, they vanish after some time, just because it just gives you just a quick information. But there is one snack that is staying. So for example, if I have a problem in terms of I don't have access, I don't have a method configured for that switch or system to change something, of course you get an error message for that. And the error messages, they will always stay put until you delete it, for example, they will be there. And if you think about switches with, let's say, sometimes 40, of course, but sometimes even more, like 100 or sometimes 200 ports, normally you don't see the error message anymore. And this technique with snacks and so on and React, it always shows you the error messages, all these success messages and so on, directly where you see them. So this is a good thing, as you really see what happens. But let's say you just move away from the page and you missed that because you just clicked when the message popped up. That's where the notification tray comes into play, and it shows you all the messages that you might not have really seen because you looked away or whatever. And it even groups you the parts on which page this happened. And this is for now the main function for the notification tray for now, to show you the GUI messages, notifications that you get. But in the future, it could be, for example, in combination with the SDK that I just mentioned, that, for example, jobs can run in the background, like synchronization jobs and so on. And it could be that in the future, we use the notification tray as well to show you, hey, there is a job running and it is done like 30%. And it will take some time for you to finish that. Maybe something like that. If you have other ideas, what you want to see in the notifications tray, please send it to us. So this is for general the things that change in version 6.0. There is of course some different fixes that we provided for macmon 5 and so on. It is a huge basis done for new operating system, for new GUI elements that will come in handy in the next few weeks, months, and years. And other things come up very shortly. I can show you. I will go a little bit forward here because we will go to that page, or we refer to that page later. The page for showing you the different things that changed. And one thing I just want to show you, what we can show right now, not so easy at least, is we had a logout timer before as well, but this time it is like it really actively shows you will be logged out in a few minutes. So you don't need to log in again if you just sitting there and talking to a colleague or whatever. This is a little feature that is coming with it as well. Okay, this is the bigger changes for now, for at least the first macmon 6 version. And I think we can go back to the next poll.
Right, Jochen, thanks for showing us the interface. And we have a next short survey because we are curious. What's your impression about the first new elements within the graphically user interface? And you got, again, 4 options. I like it very much. Second, I've been waiting for this. Number 3, it's all right. Number 4, I don't like it. So feel free to take one of the boxes, and same procedure like last time. We're gonna have a look at the results in a few seconds. Thanks. I'm seeing you take the boxes, and let's wait a couple of seconds again, and then we're gonna have a look.
Still some changes, but it's already clear that it is looking different than this morning.
Mm-hmm.
I can say so much already. So it's around 60% shows already. But I think it's not changing a lot anymore. So maybe we can stop it.
Yeah. Thanks for taking part.
Oh yeah, maybe just to talk about it just quickly. So it seems to be all right for like 60% right now. And some people are really waiting for it in terms of a new start of a new GUI and all the capabilities that comes with it, right? So, for example, what it will provide in the future is table views with a fixed header, for example, for the tables, and adjustable column sizes and stuff like that. So things that haven't been possible before, or just with huge efforts. And so this big basis that was built is providing all of that in the future. And I'm very happy that around 20% they like it very much. In my opinion, first I had to reaccustom to the colors and so on, but right now I'm very, very happy with all of that. And for everybody else, it seems to be all right. That's good. And this morning was a little different in terms of there was a lot people asking, saying, I have to say, that they like it very much. That again, few people, and we need to talk about hundreds of people that chose, were really waiting for it, and a minority was saying it's all right. I can work with that, so to say. So yeah, I think it comes in handy more and more in the future. Yeah, and I think then the benefits really get shown.
Right. Thanks, Jochen. And
okay.
Now we have time for questions, right?
Exactly.
And so feel free to ask questions. Use the webcast tool. And there is one that's been asked quite at the beginning. Will DHCP integration now support PowerShell?
Mm-hmm. This is not in there, no. If you have a feature request open already, or if you're interested in that, please send it again to support@macmon.eu to show, hey, I'm still waiting for that. I know we have a ticket for that. This is sure. And so far it didn't have the priority in the market, so it didn't put through already. But yeah, if you're really interested in this, yeah, please send it maybe again to us in terms of getting a status update on that. So we see it's still valid, and we always see, okay, how many people want that? How important is it? Is there a workaround and so on? Like I said before, things like OCSP and in, for example, TechX Plus, they are much more requested and they are really needed even. So that's why, for example, things like those had a higher priority probably until now.
Thanks. Another question was, what about Zabbix integration?
Yeah. So Zabbix integration could be a little different in terms of normally the integrations that we are talking about in the SDK is more like synchronizing data or running jobs in macmon, creating rules automatically for those use cases so that you don't need to think about that. Somebody did it for you already. Things like that. For the Zabbix integration, I'm pretty sure it is about the agent that is integrated or that should be on the appliance. For that, the status didn't change. Let's say it like this. So normally we don't support if there are changes to our appliance. If you're taking the risk on yourself, right? You can use it, and I'm pretty sure it would even work, but we're not testing it. So if you change something like that, we will always support the general information, like we provide the updates, we provide support for any problems in the GUI and for the services we normally have. But if we realize that the problem was because there is this specific other package on it, the update failed or whatever, then we can't support it really. As we, at least until now, we don't test it. But there is a ticket for that as well. I know that. There are a lot of different solutions out there. So Zabbix is just one of those. So yeah, again, like with the other part of DHCP via PowerShell, request it please again in terms of showing us it's still very needed. And we check always, okay, how much people want that, and then we need to prioritize. Yeah.
Okay. Another one is any change to the appliance configuration screen?
Mm-hmm. Not so far, no. It's still Webmin, I think in a newer version, but it could change in the future. Yeah, but right now it is like that. And for specific parts, what we are working on maybe as well, I could tell that is, we talked about that a few times, is, for example, a central update. And this, for example, will get onto the macmon GUI. So there are different approaches to work with that, update the appliance GUI, move it partly into macmon, stuff like that. So we will see how this turns out in the future, because there are different requests in different directions.
Mm-hmm. Then another question is, what about master support under scalability?
Yeah. Yes, it's of course not in version 6, else I would have shown that. But yeah, this is still a topic we're working on. So there are discussions about technology and how this can be done without interfering with management. If, let's say, there would be a split brain or something, right, that the servers can see each other and so different things, but it's not so far that I could say we release it in I don't know, these few weeks or months. It's not as far to that we are able to say that.
Mm-hmm. And for the question, which version of FreeRadius is macmon 6 based on?
Yeah, I didn't check that. I think I will deliver that later. It is, of course, a newer version than in macmon 5. I'm not sure if it is the latest version. I will check it again and we'll give you the information.
Mm-hmm. All right, thanks. Will you add more antivirus connector?
So one thing is that we will or we plan to migrate the other third-party solutions, third-party integrations into the SDK first, and the antivirus connectors should be one of those as well, even though they're not directly in that menu point right now. And of course, there are requests for one or two different other antivirus solutions, and yeah, if the market requires this, we will integrate it. So like I said, maybe like I said, so just because we are providing the SDK now doesn't mean we are not doing any integrations anymore. It's just, like I said, another way. And if you're saying you're waiting for a specific antivirus connector for too long, it could be a way for you to say, hey, there's an SDK. I could do it myself. I could do, I could ask my partner to do that. I could even ask the antivirus solution, to integrate. All right. So there's new ways of doing it that was not possible in the past. But again, we are very happy to do that ourselves, of course, as well.
Okay, Jochen, then another one is, what's the GA date, which stands for General Availability, right?
Yeah, probably it's the next slide, because you can download it now. So version 6 is available. It's been downloaded a few hundred times today already. So you can download it as well. Hope that solves this question.
Yes, and I also shared a link to the service portal. As you can see on the screen, it should be in the chat. Back to the questions. Are there some change on guest access portal?
Not so far. No, not as I'm aware of. It is doing exactly what it was doing before.
Mm-hmm. And are you going to support KVM virtualization?
Mm-hmm. So what we did last year, and Nutanix is, in my opinion, based on KVM as well. So it is still, because then we only support what we will test, and we need always to think about, okay, how much of the customers really need that specific virtualization. And mostly what we have, like Nutanix, ESX VMware, Hyper-V, our hardware appliances for the DACH market, they normally cover pretty much everything that we have in customers. But of course, I understand if somebody wants or tries to move over somewhere else, it should work. But as we don't test it, we can fully support it. What we do is, because there are customers, they do that. They use Proxmox, for example, or Azure in the cloud and stuff like that. They do that. So what we say is, sure, we support it limited. We support it for we get the updates. We check, of course, your macmon installations, if there is anything not working. But for example, if we just realize, okay, it seems to be the problem of the operating system, then we might need to stop supporting it, because we can just, we didn't test it. It could be anything, and it could be even that we can't solve it, right? So at some specific points, we might need to stop supporting that. But it is very rarely. So I know people are using what is it called? Maybe it doesn't matter what it's called. Another virtualization solution. I think it was Citrix in some way, and they're using it for years now. Every update worked, every migration worked, but it's just like that we can provide that as a promise, so to say. So normally if it works once, it normally works longer and maybe even forever. But this is where we need to differentiate between what are we testing, full supported, what are we don't testing, application supported. Let's say it like that.
Mm-hmm. Thanks. And another one, how about general stability and performance of the new version 6?
Mm-hmm.
Maybe you can tell us something more about it?
So stability is very good. We are using it for a month or two now already. So what we always do is every version that we provide to customers, we use it beforehand internally productively. So for me, there are no issues in this case. Of course, we will provide fixes for specific things, but in my opinion, it's all minor things. For example, we will pretty shortly release a version 6.0.1, which is fixing some little GUI things that in some occasions pop up, but they don't really hinder you in anything. It's just we planned it differently. So really small things and some features getting to this, like methods and so on for different other manufacturers. And so yeah, but in terms of real bugs or something like that, I didn't find anything, and the QA in English, didn't find anything, and it seems very good to be working. And we even gave it to one or two customers beforehand that had problems that are fixed in version 6. And for all of those, I would say the performance is very good. It's at least on the level of what we had before. And the stability like I just said, I don't see any critical issues, just for small things that we want to change.
Mm-hmm. Thanks, Jochen. Here's another one. What's macmon's R&D, research and development roadmap for the future? Can you provide insights into macmon's strategic direction and focus areas, such as automation and AI capabilities?
Okay, yeah, I wouldn't go too much into detail here. So it's about macmon 6 this time, and sure, we are looking into things that we could do with AI. Sure, like everybody is doing. So there will be probably something coming up, but I wouldn't say when and I wouldn't say what. We're still in discussions about things that make sense. And for automation and so on, yeah, sure. So macmon should develop in all directions. So we are pretty strong in IT market. We are pretty strong in OT market, and we spell, of course, the OT market delivers a lot of customers and of course of requests as well. So, but we will deliver things for all markets, and it is even like IT is more and more going into OT. So normally what we provide is beneficial for both sides, but there will be specific OT functions like with specific IT functions in the future as well. So it's very cloudy, right? But I think it's not right to really give these insights here right now. There is different other marketing information in the future for exactly giving you that information.
Mm-hmm. And another question is, when is version 6.01 or 6.1? We had the same question in the morning. The German one is going to be released mid of April.
So 6.1 6.1 or 6.0.1. So 6.0.1 could be maybe even next week, maybe even this week. It depends really on QA. It was very, very far already. Additionally, 6.1 is far as well. So it could, I can tell for sure, but it could be within a month for 6.1 as well. It really depends on QA, what they're finding, and yeah, but they're really far for both of those versions already.
Mm-hmm. And is it supported on ESXi 6.5?
Yeah, ESX version 6.5. We still have images for that, but it is so we want to know exactly how many people are really still using ESX version 6.5, because I think it's end of life for a year now, or maybe even 2, and with version 6 we really want to see, do we still need to support that? So if you have the need for ESX version 6.5, you should write a mail to the support and they will provide it to you. We will not provide it on the portal directly to see how it is, because in the past we got the impression that there are a lot of people that download everything just to have it for now, just in case. And yeah, that's why we really want to see, okay, how is the market? Do we really need to support that, or can we save some time because people need to migrate anyways from time to time? So the virtualization, I mean.
Thank you. And we have now 3 questions coming from one. Number 1 is, does a scalability license allow us to use up to 3 failover macmon appliances master standby and connect satellites to master?
So I'm not sure if this is the right environment. I think it might be better to talk to pre-sales, to sales about that in detail. Of course, I will want to give you an answer, but in general, you should talk to them and then really see what are your needs. In general, what the scalability does is it delivers, for example, high availability for reactive NAC or post-connect NAC or SNMP NAC, how you want to call it. And this would be failover in terms of the smallest bundle for scalability is 3 servers, but you can have 6 or 9 or even more if you discuss it with sales how much you really need. But the normal bundles are 3, 6, and 9, and so you can have a failover, which means 2 systems can take over the monitoring or the reactive NAC. If you think about proactive NAC or pre-connect NAC or radius-based NAC, all the same names for the same thing, then it is an active n times, and where n is the amount of servers that you have. So if you have 3 servers and you're using radius for NAC authentication or enforcement, then yes, you have a 3 times high available system for your NAC.
And the second question was, does macmon still support the macmon Windows agent? Any changes to the agent?
So it's still supporting the agent that we had. There are still discussions about using the macmon SDP agent for that, but it didn't, let's say, grow or developed as far. But it is still on the let's say agenda somewhere to really do that. So we need to, maybe I can say that, we need to provide, of course, on the macmon server side changes. And then we need to adjust the agent to it. But yes, the plan is still to use a new agent, especially as it provides the support of different of the standard operating systems. So it's not away from the agenda.
Mm-hmm. And number 3 coming from this person was, can we use single sign-on using our AD users via LDAP with macmon? If so, should we create a separate AD user security group for this purpose?
So you can use single sign-on like I shown, but it is then SAML-based. So if you're using, for example, the Active Directory Federation services, that should be possible. Then there is this browser-based single sign-on. This is not supported in macmon 6 right now, which is written in the migration manual. So yeah, but in general, yes, you can use your ID users to use single sign-on with macmon, sure, with the federation services. And then, of course, most customers, what they are doing is they are using specific security groups to allow specific rights or accesses. And so yeah, you could do it then, and check for that in macmon to give admin, help desk, and whatever GUI roles as you like.
Thank you. And since we've almost an hour full, I would just get to the last question. What about Zabbix integration?
Oh, we had that at the beginning.
Okay. Sorry. Then I haven't deleted it. Sorry. And yeah, that's all. If you have any further questions, that's the last chance to ask.
Not the last chance. You can always ask. Just write an email to the support.
Right.
But for today, maybe.
Last chance in the webinar. Jochen, I would like to ask you if you could switch to the next slide.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you. And as you can see, we've summarized all the highlights, all the features that came with the major release version 6 on a landing page. You see the URL here, and I'm also gonna share it into the chat. And you can see, I think, Jochen, you have shared too, half an hour ago, the features with what includes the new version. Also, we'd like to ask you if you want to be to have all the technical changes all on time and receive the release notes. We would kindly ask you just to subscribe to our technical newsletter. I'm sharing the link as well, and you can also find it in the service portal.
Mm-hmm.
Thanks, Jochen. And yes, we're gonna have another webinar. It's gonna be on April the 11th, same time, and it's about NAC in industrial networks. So it's focusing on network access control in operation technology environments. I'm also sharing the link where you can join the webinar in the chat, and it's with Jochen and also with Professor Dr. Tobias Herr, who's our guest speaker. He works at a university and is professor with focus on network security. And this webinar could be very interesting for you if you have customers in industrial environments.
Exactly.
Thank you. And yeah, last but not least, thanks, Jochen. We'd like to say thanks for joining us. Thanks for listening, and hope you can enjoy and download the new version the same way we can do it. And as Jochen said, if you have any questions or queries, use macmon.sales@belden.com to send us an email. And that's all from my side. And Jochen, do you have anything at the end?
Yeah. This macmon.sales@belden.com would be for any sales requests. And if you have any requests in terms of features, you want to say, yeah, I want that as well, or this is a new feature, you can just send it to support@macmon.eu.
Thank you. And so that's all for today. Hope you enjoyed the new version. and you are going to download and enjoy it, I'm going to share the link again in the chat, and I would say goodbye and see you next time.
Take care.